Welcome to our show, Hong Kong Brief. Today, we dive into some fascinating news stories that are shaping the city. First up, the electric vehicle (EV) revolution is in full swing in Hong Kong, with a record-breaking 90% of private cars registered in April being EVs. While they're cheaper to run than petrol cars, the lengthy charging times remain a hurdle. But hey, the city's 8,728 public EV chargers are here to help. Next, Hong Kong stocks have taken a hit, retreating from a two-week high due to weak economic data from China and a dip in Tencent stocks. The Hang Seng Index dropped by 0.2%, breaking a 5-day winning streak. However, optimism about the U.S. Federal Reserve easing rates keeps the market hopeful. Lastly, Hong Kong's retail sector is facing a tough time, with sales dropping for the fourth consecutive month in June. Locals and tourists alike are tightening their belts, and landlords are feeling the pinch, cutting dividends as consumer behavior shifts. Please stay tuned for the full details. South China Morning Post. Sales of electric vehicles (EVs) have surged in Hong Kong, with EVs now making up over 90% of all private cars registered as of April, compared to 70% the previous year. This shift is driven by cost savings and government incentives. Owners like Angus O and Dexter IP highlight the financial benefits, with charging costs significantly lower than petrol expenses. For instance, O spends about a third less on charging his electric MG ZS SUV compared to his previous petrol-powered Toyota Sienta. However, the convenience of charging remains a challenge, as it takes longer than refueling a conventional car. The availability of charging facilities is also a concern, although the city has made strides with 8,728 public EV chargers. Government incentives, such as the one-for-one replacement scheme, have further encouraged the switch to EVs, contributing to the high penetration rate. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong stocks retreated from a two-week high as weak Chinese economic data overshadowed optimism about potential Fed easing. The Hang Seng Index dropped 0.2% to 17,148.43, influenced by Tencent's 0.7% decline ahead of its earnings report. Other tech stocks like NetEase and Trip.com also saw losses. The downturn was driven by a larger-than-expected decline in Chinese bank lending and anticipated weak retail sales and industrial production data. However, positive U.S. economic indicators, such as lower-than-expected producer prices, provided some hope for Fed easing. In contrast, other Asian markets like Japan's Nikkei 225 and South Korea's Kospi Index experienced gains, reflecting a more optimistic outlook. Reuters breaking views. Hong Kong is grappling with a retail slump, with sales falling for 4 consecutive months due to reduced spending by both locals and tourists. June saw a 9.7% year-on-year decline in retail sales, marking a stark contrast to the 2% growth on the mainland. Changing consumer behavior is a key factor, as more Hong Kong residents shop in mainland cities for better deals, and mainland tourists spend less in Hong Kong due to the strong local currency. This downturn has hit landlords hard, with companies like Wharf Real Estate Investment and Hang Lung Properties facing significant financial challenges. Even luxury developers like Hong Kong Land are bracing for a prolonged downturn, with some resorting to rare dividend cuts, signaling deep-rooted issues in the city's retail sector. South China Morning Post. Guided by tradition and a deep desire to safeguard perfume-making know-how, the French fragrance house Henri Jacques, founded by Henri Jacques Cremona in Grasses in 1975, continues to craft and produce the very best luxury scents. The house is a purveyor of the traditional craft of perfumery and is a composer of sorts, concocting scents from the finest notes and ingredients. Steeped in these traditions, Henri Jacques, under the guidance of Annelise Cremona, taps into premium natural essences sourced from all corners of the world. Only the best ingredients with the most pleasant scent profiles are selected to be added to the intricate blends meticulously curated by noses at the Henri Jacques Atelier. Beyond creating the perfect blend of notes, the house also takes considerable care to ensure that each ingredient's natural qualities, purity, and aromatic depths are accurately captured and preserved. Each step of the way, the perfumer seeks to manipulate and blend ingredients to elevate their solo characteristic while harmonizing the bottled fragrance. The same obsessive dedication extends to the bespoke service, where fragrance lovers can enlist the help of the Maison's nose to dream up their very own one-of-a-kind signature scent. Each of Henri Jacques' scents, bespoke or otherwise, is bottled in crystal vessels housed inside leather-enrobed wooden boxes. In some collections, such as those from the jewelry collection, bottles are further embellished with precious gems and gold filigree, reflecting the rarity and preciousness of the blend and the fine ingredients which go into creating each Henri Jacques scent. Associated Press: The East Asia Super League is expanding to Hong Kong and Macau for its 2024-25 season, increasing the professional basketball league to 10 teams. League officials said in a statement Wednesday that Hong Kong Eastern and the Macau Black Bears would join the league, which also features teams from Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. Hong Kong Eastern won its third domestic A1 division title in 2023 and is a two-time winner of the ASEAN Basketball League in 2016-17 and 2023. The Black Bears were formed in 2018 as Macau's first-ever professional team. The team is the reigning Macau League champions and has also represented the region in the ASEAN Basketball League. EASL officials said they plan to announce the schedule soon and that the season will begin in early October. It was always our ambition to expand and bring in more leagues, representing more regions in Asia, said League Chief Executive Henry Cairns. We have accelerated those plans due to the strong demand from the regional leagues to join, and their readiness to do so. Japan's Chiba Jets won the 2023-24 title, the league's second season. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong's Vivienne Kong Man Why winning gold in the épée competition at the Paris Olympics was rich with historical significance. She competed at the Grand Palais, originally constructed for the 1900 Exposition Universelle, which coincided with the first Paris Olympics. While épée debuted in Paris in 1900, it was not until Atlanta 1996 that women competed in the event. From the Olympics' early decades to the present, the Games have maintained a certain structural legacy while undergoing significant evolution. They showcase a shifting global order, shaped by East Asia's ascent. What began as a Western-dominated event is now a global spectacle. In 1900, Europe commanded 7 of the top 10 spots in the Olympic medal tally, with the United States, Australia, and a mixed team rounding out the list. Fast forward to 2024 and, while the West still holds 7 of the top 10 positions in the medals table, China, South Korea, and Japan occupy the remaining 3. Pierre de Coubertin's vision of a globally inclusive Olympics remains an ongoing journey. Europe once dominated fencing. While Italy and France have maintained their prominent position, Russia, the US, and East Asia are now formidable competitors. South Korea put in a strong performance at the pandemic-delayed Tokyo Games in 2021, as did Japan this year. Between Hong Kong and the mainland, China won 2 golds in both 2021 and 2024. The evolution of the sporting landscape has mirrored the trajectory of global economic competition. Western Europe and the US were the dominant forces in the world economy for most of the 20th century, but today Japan, South Korea, and China's combined gross domestic product makes up a quarter of global GDP and exceeds that of the European Union. Buoyed by its rising economic power, East Asia has enhanced its sports infrastructure and systems in recent decades. This strategic focus has propelled East Asian nations to become formidable competitors on the global stage in their own right. South China Morning Post: Justice Richard Bernstein's life has been a testament to resilience and determination as he navigated the world without sight. Born in Michigan in 1973, Bernstein faced the challenge of balancing independence with safety from a young age, thanks to his supportive family. His journey through education was marked by significant hurdles, especially in law school, where tasks took him 5 times longer than his peers. Despite facing rejections from numerous law firms, Bernstein found his calling in public service, taking on cases for the disabled and advocating for their rights. His dedication led to significant changes, such as making U.S. aviation more accessible and fighting for the rights of disabled veterans. His passion for running, inspired by the Achilles program, culminated in completing an Ironman triathlon. Even a severe accident in 2012 couldn't dampen his spirit. Elected to the Michigan Supreme Court in 2014, Bernstein has used his position to make impactful decisions, notably in the Flint water crisis, and continues to champion disability rights globally. South China Morning Post: Hong Kong Eastern is set to elevate its basketball prowess by joining the expanded East Asia Super League, EASL, in October. The league, now featuring 10 teams, includes clubs from Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. Eastern, a 3-time Hong Kong A1 Division champion, aims to solidify its status as a basketball powerhouse in Asia. The team has a history of competing in regional competitions, having won the ASEAN Basketball League (ABL) title on their debut in the 2016-17 season and again in 2023. Despite challenges, including finding a home court for the upcoming season, Eastern's participation in the EASL represents a significant step towards their goal of joining mainland China's top-tier Chinese Basketball Association (CBA) league. The team is placed in Group A alongside formidable opponents like the Hiroshima Dragonflies and the San Miguel Beermen, promising thrilling matches for basketball fans. South China Morning Post: Over the past 5 years, Australia and the UK have received 916 asylum applications from Hong Kongers, with a peak following the imposition of the national security law in 2020. Despite the high number of applications, approvals have been scarce, with only 80 granted during this period. Australia's Home Affairs Department reported 584 applications, with the highest monthly peak in July 2020. The processing time for these applications has significantly increased, now averaging over 3 years. In the UK, 332 applications were received, peaking in the third quarter of 2020. The number of applications has since declined, returning to pre-2019 levels. Jane Poon from Australia Hong Kong Link highlighted the long waiting times and mental stress faced by applicants, many of whom have yet to be interviewed. Nathan Law, an activist granted asylum in the UK, exemplifies the challenges and political implications surrounding these applications. South China Morning Post: Mainland Chinese brands have been aggressively entering the Hong Kong retail market, spurred by lower rents and the city's strategic position as a gateway to the global market. According to JLL, new leases by these brands surged by 215% in the first 7 months of 2024. Among the newcomers, 56% chose high streets, while others opted for prime shopping centers. Hey Tea, a Shenzhen-based tea chain backed by Tencent Holdings and Singapore's Temasek, exemplifies this trend by securing a new location in Mong Kok. The new store, occupying 979 square feet with a monthly rent of 160,000 Hong Kong dollars, is set to open on Soy Street, a bustling area known for its heavy foot traffic. Hey Tea, which first entered Hong Kong in 2018, now boasts 10 branches in the city and over 4,000 stores globally, including in the US, UK, Australia, and Singapore. This expansion comes amidst a shifting retail landscape in Hong Kong, where online and overseas spending by residents is rising, and mainland Chinese tourist spending is declining. The city aims to attract 46 million visitors this year, a significant increase from 2023 but still below the 2018 peak. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong fencer Chung Kalong's dramatic victory over an Italian opponent in the 2024 Olympic Games has sparked a lively debate on cultural fusion in food, particularly the controversial topic of pineapple on pizza. Chung's win, which required video reviews and ended with a close score of 15-14, led some Italian critics to question the refereeing, citing bias due to the judge's East Asian origins. In response, Hong Kong fans celebrated by enjoying pineapple pizza, much to the chagrin of traditional Italian pizzaiolos. The article argues that such culinary purism is misplaced, noting that pizza has evolved globally, much like Chinese cuisine has adapted in various countries. Examples include foie gras xiaolong bao in Hong Kong, Hakka food in India, and Mexican stir-fries with cactus paddles. The piece suggests that culinary innovation should be embraced rather than resisted, highlighting that even Italian cuisine has roots in cultural exchange, with tomatoes originally brought from the New World by the Spanish. South China Morning Post. As Hong Kong hosts the World Lacrosse Women's Under-20 Championship for the first time, the home team is eager to leverage the local support to improve their previous ranking. The championship, featuring top teams like the United States, Canada, and Australia, began with a match between South Korea and Chinese Taipei at Sham Shui Pa Sports Ground. Hong Kong's head coach, Gemini Fan Tak Kwan, expressed excitement about hosting the event, aiming to surpass their 12th place finish from 5 years ago. The team, placed in Pool D with England, Japan, Ireland, and Jamaica, is optimistic about the home crowd's backing. Team captain Ambi Chan Inching and co-captain Scarlett Cowley emphasized the importance of familiar faces in the stands and the rigorous preparation they have undergone, including a training trip to Japan. Canada, aiming to better their silver medal from 2019, is confident in their fast and experienced team. The tournament structure will see the top 8 teams progressing to the quarterfinals, with the remaining teams playing additional matches to determine their final rankings. South China Morning Post. SIFE, a robo-advisor and investment platform from Singapore, has secured 210 million Hong Kong dollars, $27 million US, in funding to bolster its expansion into Hong Kong. This financial boost, from 2 undisclosed UK-based family offices and existing investors such as Unbound and Vala Ventures, triples SIFE's financial strength, allowing it to tap into Hong Kong's lucrative market. With 55% of Hong Kong adults falling into the mass affluent category, SIFE's founder and CEO Dhruv Arora sees immense potential. This funding will help SIFE introduce more products and enhance its offerings, leveraging its technology to partner with banks and insurers. The move aligns with Hong Kong's efforts to attract global family offices, further cementing the city's status as a financial hub. Analysts and stakeholders, including David Chong of MindWorks and lawmaker Robert Lee Wai Wong, highlight Hong Kong's dynamic financial environment and its ability to cater to diverse investment needs. South China Morning Post. Paliang Kook, a prominent Hong Kong charity, has been a sanctuary for women and children in need for 150 years. Nestled in a neoclassical building in Causeway Bay, the charity's headquarters is a testament to its enduring mission. Originally established in 1878 to combat human trafficking, Paliang Kook has evolved into a multifaceted organization offering temporary accommodation for children whose parents are unable to care for them. The historic building, rich with Chinese inscriptions and heritage artifacts, houses a museum chronicling the charity's legacy. Visitors can explore the complex, except for the children's residential area, and learn about its profound impact. Despite the passage of time, the charity remains a safe haven, with former residents often returning to reconnect. Paliang Kook now operates over 300 service units, continuing its mission to support Hong Kongers in various capacities, from education to elder care. South China Morning Post. U.S. Army intelligence analyst Corbian Schultz has pleaded guilty to conspiring to sell military secrets to China. Schultz, who held top-secret clearance, conspired with an individual in Hong Kong, suspected of Chinese government ties, to provide classified information and export-controlled technical data on U.S. military weapons systems. In exchange for around $42,000, Schultz sent dozens of sensitive documents, including insights from the Russia-Ukraine war applicable to Taiwan's defense, Chinese military tactics, and U.S. military satellite data. The Department of Justice emphasized the gravity of Schultz's actions, which compromised national security for personal gain. FBI Executive Assistant Director Robert Wells underscored the ongoing threat from foreign governments targeting U.S. military personnel. Schultz is set to be sentenced on January 23, 2025, facing severe repercussions for his betrayal of trust and endangerment of national security. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Got a question in your mind? We'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything. Laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too, we've got the A to Z for you. Got a question in your mind? We'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything. Laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too.